The Hanging Gardens of Babylon have consistently been described in fascination by historical figures. We know for certain that 6 wonders from the Greeks' famous list existed. But why is it so hard for us to find the concrete evidence for the last wonder? There are a few main theories on who ordered the garden's construction, but one stands above the rest. The most popular school of thought is that the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II built it so his wife Amethyst would not miss the luscious greenery of their home in the Medea Mountains. Their royal residence in Babylon would have seemed arid in comparison if not for Nebuchadnezzar's feats of construction, such as the Medea Wall, the 𝗝𝗄𝗏𝗂𝗓𝗄𝗃 Ziggurat Temple, and the Ishtar Gate, which still stands magnificently to this day. But there is no doubt that one project stands above the rest. Aiming to recreate northern Iraq's gorgeous mountains, the great ruler held nothing back when it came to the so-called garden with no end. It is probably best described by the Greek historian Herodotus, who wrote, "It is a wonder to behold, for it seems as if streams from heaven had flowed down there into the fountains, and yet neither did these from lakes nor rivers run into each other, but through pipes made underground through which they came forth into the air. This was part of an elaborate palace complex where royalty could enjoy an observatory, a zoo, and the general splendor of their setting." The Babylonians had a tendency to build grand terrace structures, such as their ziggurats, so this description of a tiered floral paradise fits in with the architecture of the time. So why did the gardens remain hidden? Well, some clues have popped up from time to time. The most convincing of these is a discovery by a 20th century German archaeologist, 𝗝𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗶𝘃𝗏, who uncovered a complex system of canals and irrigation channels that would have had the potential capacity to water a vast garden that would be unmatched even today. So where could the remains of the actual garden have gone? Something that grand doesn't just vanish into dust. There are a few possible explanations. First of all, the region has been no stranger to conflict throughout history. The Babylonians themselves are said to have wiped some of history's most important buildings from the face of the earth. Similarly, rival empires would have targeted the Babylonian Empire by attacking the jewels in their architectural crown. There have also been a number of earthquakes and floods over the centuries in what is now Iraq. This would have sped up not just the collapse, but the degradation of once grand structures. And amongst all this turmoil, it's important to remember that people have always lived in these areas around Mesopotamia. Ancient buildings are not just withered by conflict and disaster, they also have to deal with constant progress of civilizations building anew on top of them. We don't need to be conspiracy theorists to think the Hanging Gardens of Babylon genuinely disappeared off the face of the earth. The surviving evidence all around them points to the likelihood of their existence. The Greek chose 6 other wonders which many people saw in person. Why would their list have finished with a fictional place? We may never get the final nail in the coffin for historians to call the gardens a fact, but every part of the story adds up and indicates that Babylon once held a garden like no other. If you have any of your own theories that help explain this wonder, we'd love to hear them in the comments. If you want more videos on topics like this, hit subscribe and we'll see you again very soon.